6 months you ain't paid, man. This is just crazy.
Listen.
Eviction is a very long process, and you will come across disgruntled tenants. Today has been a long-awaited day. I've had a tenant who's occupied one of my properties for the last 6 months rent-free, literally rent-free. And I'm looking forward to repossessing my home. We got an army out here for today. See, this is what happens when you got people who love you, you know? No, don't go yet. Yeah. Let's wait.
Have you lost some rent? This illegal. This is illegal. You know it is. You got perfect.
Yeah, that's God work right there. Hey, look, man, I'm paying you to get on the clock. Don't console her. Get on the clock. Don't console her. That's God work. That's God work. That's what you get.
You need to be quiet.
Like
Mr. Officer,
don't get talking to
please
me.
tell him to shut his mouth. Because he's egging the situation.
Everything is clear to go. We're going to go ahead and get started. Everything will come out. It's going to be placed on the property. We're not going to break nothing. We're not going to throw nothing. Everything will be placed out here neatly.
I've had this tenant in particular for the last 6 months has refused to make a single payment. Eviction is a very long process, and you will come across disgruntled tenants.
This landlord is evicting a tenant from his property after they failed to pay their rent for 6 months.
6 months you ain't paid, man. This is just crazy.
Listen.
Check him in back. We ain't winning no part. We ain't got nothing. The only paper we got. We ain't got no net. No taxes. No do something. Stop. Come on. Keep going.
That's the daughter. So how long are we gonna have to get it off the grass though?
The law does not specify how long. It just says a reasonable amount of time, whatever you deem reasonable.
Sure.
After that, you can discard of it.
Okay. Let's just start grabbing stuff out.
One area of the house. I need everybody registered too. I have everybody get one area.
Okay, sure.
So we're doing the kitchen right now. Everybody
you got
needs
to
to be in the
stay
kitchen.
together. We all gonna stay together.
Let me open this door. Open the door wider. Oh, that's there. Leave the table. Grab that stuff. Leave the table. That table is mine. You can leave it. Grab all the stuff.
Gerald is a property developer who is sharing his journey of buying and selling property, as well as looking to inspire his followers.
So guys, before we finish out the rest of this clip, this is one of the downsides of being an entrepreneur, owning properties and having tenants, because you're going to eventually run into something like this: a tenant who's late, a tenant who's habitually late, a tenant who's destroying your place. And people don't understand that until you actually start owning properties and become a landlord. Now, I understand tenants have rights, and there are tenants' rights based upon states and things like that, which is needed because some landlords are slumlords and they'll kick you out for whatever reason, no notice, whatever, even though it is their property. But then on the flip side of it, you have people, as I said, destroying your property, living up in there, bringing other people in there that shouldn't be in there, just doing all types of stuff to your property because they don't give a damn. And I'm a realtor, so I've shown properties that were basically rehab properties, or those properties that were on Section 8 or government, and a lot of those properties are destroyed. And people had stuff to say about Donald Trump and him not renting out to certain people, or him not wanting to do Section 8. It was something along those lines. You guys can correct me. I know it's been a while since I had gotten information on that. But you have to realize that's why people do credit checks. That's why people do rental checks to check your rental history. And those of you guys getting upset about this, man, you're looking at it from a consumer standpoint. And that's what people need to stop doing. They need to stop looking at it from a consumer standpoint. I understand there's capitalism, and we can get it. This is a whole nother conversation in terms of prices and things like that. But you will deal with, especially during the pandemic, people living in your place for 6 months at a time, a year, and not paying any rent. Meanwhile, you still got a mortgage to pay. So my man had to bring the whole team out here along with the sheriff to make sure. And they getting mad, putting all this energy into being upset with him instead of focusing on paying me. But anyway, let's get back to the clip. Let's go.
Thank you, my brothers. Yeah, we had dog in there. Let's open the garage.
How do you feel, man?
Man, I feel great, man. God is good, man.
Be blessed.
God is good, man. So when you endure, there's a time to harvest.
You did.
It's okay. Let it be difficult. Embrace the difficulty. 6 months, no rent paid. A young man like me, she had the audacity to post me online. Yeah.
You don't tell everything. I'm just telling your boy. Why they make no way?
that was brutal and ruthless as well. Look, I get it. America's the land of the free, not the land of free housing. But man, I mean, you know, she is an old woman still losing her home. And yeah, she may have not have been able to afford to pay rent for 6 months. But even being like, mate, don't console her, that is just savage. It was brutal and tough to watch. But at the end of the day, the landlord was well within his rights to repossess his property. You sign a contract and agree to the terms of renting, you have to meet them. Otherwise, you know, this can happen. What did his commenters make of this spicy confrontation? It's safe to say they were well on the side of the landlord. One wrote, they don't pay rent for 6 months, but yet act super righteous. Simply insane. Our second commenter commended the approach of the landlord, writing, I own my own house, and when I tell you I feel no sympathy for the tenants. Landlord, job, well done, man. And this was a sentiment echoed by our final commenter who wrote, I feel bad for landlords who have to deal with trash like this. It's wonderful. You had so much support, and I wish you the best of luck.
Man, that is a tenant from hell and sitting there cursing you out as if you owe them something. Probably gonna bring up every little small thing, and I'm not paying no rent. You got the audacity to sit up in somebody's house. And a lot of you be like, well, I would do this, I would do that, da, da, da. Yeah, and you would get arrested if you try to do that too, because they do have rights. And the process you have to go through, filing for eviction to get people up out of here. A lot of y'all, especially now with interest rates being super high, what is it, 8% now in terms of when you're trying to purchase a home? Because you got people, and you guys know my background. I used to do credit repair, building people's credit, helping people out. And you'd be surprised at how many people are trying to get stuff like CPNs to get an apartment, or the apartment they live in is in someone else's name because they can't, their credit is so messed up. Nowadays, you have to make, what, 3-4 times the rent. You have to put a deposit down and first month's rent, sometimes 2 to 3 months rent, depending on how terrible your credit is. You want people to give you a chance, but you're not looking at, you're like, this is ridiculous. I got to have this. I got to do that. I got to do it. This is a business. This is the reason why, guys. This is the reason why. This has to be done because of stuff like this. And it happens every day, guys. This happens every day where a landlord, someone has to file with the courts to get you up out of there. I think I mentioned to you guys with my ex-wife, when she left, like I said, she was just like, yo, I'm ready to hit the streets. I don't want to be married no more. I don't want to have nothing to do with the kids. I'm going to live on my own. She moved in with another woman. And she just thought everything was going to be cool. She left me with the bills. I had to take care of the bills, everything. And at this time, the whole situation was weird because I had just quit a job overseas to come back to help take care of the family. When I say take care of the family, here in the States. So I took a pay cut by like a third. I was making a third of what I was making previously. So, and as soon as I came back, within weeks, she left and moved out, and because she said she wanted to be single and discover herself. By that time, I had already filed for divorce. She was living somewhere else, but she had to pay child support. She had to pay child support, so she wasn't able to pay her rent anymore. So every month, her and this other woman she was living with was struggling to come up with the rent. They were going half on the rent and they were still struggling. So it's reasons like that which people don't want to pay. They move up in your place and don't want to pay. I'm in here now. I could pay 2 months. I could pay 30 days late as long as I pay before the sheriff comes. All types of foolishness like that, man. But we need to have things in place like credit and those systems in place that show your rental history to keep riffraff out. And what I mean by that is you could say, well, GR, stuff happens. Yeah, but this person has to pay their mortgage also. And even if they don't have to pay their mortgage, that's still their place. Let's just say it's paid off. They still are responsible for the upkeep, hot water heater, pipes, electricity, anything that goes wrong in there, they still have to pay that. And the fact that you're not paying, man, come on, man. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. Listen up. I'm the best. Let's run it up to 200,000. Quit playing with me. Peace.